The Leader of Plaid Cymru, Leanne Wood.
Diolch, Llywydd. First Minister, you've gone on record with your views on the situation in Syria, and I think it's entirely appropriate that you've done that, especially as Wales will be affected in terms of troops, in terms of the involvement of Welsh services in terms of dealing with the refugee crisis, and also the security risk to Welsh communities. Now, you've gone on record as saying that you would only consider supporting UK airstrikes in Syria if there was a plan in place for peace and stability. Do you agree with me now then that the Prime Minister's statement last week on proposals for UK airstrikes falls short of those tests?
As I've said over the last few days, I don't believe that there is sufficient evidence there yet to support airstrikes.
Thank you for your answer, First Minister. As of the 27th of November, you said that you'd not been privy to any discussion at UK level within your party on the proposals for UK airstrikes on Syria. Have you been involved in any discussions since, and have you had any discussions with the Labour Party in Wales on this matter?
No, there's a free vote on this issue at Westminster. It's for each Member of Parliament to make up his or her own mind as to how they wish to vote.
Okay, well, thank you for your answer, First Minister. Now, in your public remarks, you've said that we must learn the lessons from the Iraq War, and I would agree with you on that point. At the time, back in 2003, your predecessor said that he did not have a view on that war, and I welcome the fact that you, at least, have gone on record as the UK considers yet again intervening in the Middle East. On this occasion, then, will the Welsh Government join other parties and other devolved administrations, if possible, in opposing the proposed bombing of Syria? And will you appeal directly to the Prime Minister to reconsider his government's plans to bomb that country?
Well, first of all, it wasn't my understanding that her party, nor indeed the SNP who made the announcement some days beforehand, were actually against airstrikes in principle, namely that the evidence would be considered. It's clear from her views, and I understand that she doesn't feel that the evidence is strong enough to justify those airstrikes, and that's a position that I also share. But nevertheless, I do take the view that as the UK Parliament considers this issue, that it considers the issue of how to bring peace to Syria in the broadest possible sense. Airstrikes, it could be argued, can suppress the capacity for terrorist attacks. They cannot remove the capacity for terrorist attacks. That can only be done by removing the threat on the ground. And I have to say, at this moment in time, I don't believe that there is sufficient evidence before Parliament, or indeed the people of Wales and the people of the UK, to suggest that airstrikes on their own would act in a way to shorten the war and remove the threat of Daesh. Nor do I believe that there is sufficient information that would allow us to conclude that, that support is being given to a substantial ground force. The Prime Minister's talked of 70,000. It's not clear where those 70,000 ground forces are or which organisations they represent. So at this moment in time, I have to say I don't think the evidence is there to justify airstrikes. That evidence may strengthen in the days and weeks to come, but at this moment in time, it's not there.